At 5:35 a.m., one James Monroe Hardy drove his 1993 Ford F-215 pickup, state license Gamma Gamma Alpha 457, through the front window of Betty Jean's There and Back Cafe, located at 1432 Main Street. 3 persons were in the cafe, one outside in vicinity of said incident. Minor injuries were reported. The driver sustaining most severe, namely a cut to his forehead and on his hands due to the broken glass. Interviews are being conducted with the witnesses to determine the cause of the accident. Well, it was early. I mean, the breakfast crowd hadn't come in yet, and it was much too early for them. Only Lester was here, and, well, Lester's always here. And he was sitting there at the counter, and I'd just given him his first cup of coffee. And then I turned, I'm behind the counter like I always am, and I turned to talk to and remind my cook, Jerome. Jerome Warren, you know him. Boy, he moves slower than refrigerated molasses. And I swear, if it wasn't for the fact that he was my sister-in-law's second cousin's son, I would never have hired that boy. I wouldn't, but family is family, and so there I am. Well, so I am reminding him once again to crisp up Lester's hash browns just like Lester likes him, when I hear this horrendous noise, and I look up, and there, coming right for my plate glass window, is a pickup truck. And I'm looking through the window, and I can see just as clear as I'm looking at you. It is James Monroe Hardy, and he is sitting there, and he's got a grip on that steering wheel, and he is just hellfire and damnation in his eyes, and he is driving that truck straight for my window and straight for Lester Jossmore. I know it. I know it as I do. I mean, everybody knows that he's just been had it in for him. Well, ever since Lester canceled James Monroe's poor wife's health insurance, you know, her being so sick and all, but then that's Lester for you. I'll tell you, that man, he has a leisure for his heart, and it's just all bottom line. That's all it is for him. But James Monroe, he's been going about town. All folks have been talking about it. See, he's been going about town, and he's been saying that he's going to pay old Lester what is owed him. And I just have to ask you why he has to choose my plate glass window to pay him back, huh? I mean, there he comes crashing through. And look at this place. Look at it. He moved my counter a good 6 to 8 feet there, and it was bolted down to the floor. I mean, who's gonna pay for this? I know James Monroe, he doesn't have no money. Oh, no. It's going to be me. I'm going to have to pay for it. That's right. And I'll have to use my insurance, and old Lester, well, he'll just raise my rates. You know, Lester. It's not right. I tell you, it's simply not right that I have to pay for other people's sins. Not right at all. Well, I'm just sitting there at the counter, having my morning infusion of Java, and Betty Jean, she's yakking to poor Warren about something, or I don't know what it all is, that poor Warren boy. But she does make a good cup of coffee, so I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, Betty Jean, she starts screaming, and I'm hearing the screeching of brakes, and I look up, and there's this pickup truck, and it's coming right at us, right towards the window, and I can't see through, you know, there's so much glare in the lights and all, but I can't see the driver, but I can see hands flying up, you know, and I guess it's just instinctive hands going up for what's coming against him, but it's not until he explodes through that window and the dust settles that I realize who the driver is. James Monroe Hardy. I'll tell you what, there are some folks that have nothing but luck, and it is all bad, and that's James Monroe. Just about broke my heart. That's why Cindy's cancer treatments maxed out their health insurance. That was a phone call I hated to make to tell the kids that news. That's part of my job I do not like. And now, James Monroe, just 2 days ago, he come into my office, and his late on his payments on his truck, and he comes in telling me he's taking on a second job. He's going to be making deliveries, you know, and he's going to pay me all that he owes me. And I think, well, that's good, but that's not going to happen anytime soon, that's for sure. That poor boy. And now it looks like he's, might as well say it, looks like he's gone back to his old ways. I mean, everyone knows in his day he liked to throw him back, you know, he did. Now that he's got his wife being sick and his 2 kids to care for and 2 jobs and debts just piling up, it's no wonder that he has just gone back to the bottle. This has to be what happened. It's a shame. It's just a dirty shame. Well, I was about half a block from the cafe. I was making my way to the cafe, you see. Well, they have their Thursday morning French toast special. Have you ever tried their French toast? Oh, it's quite nice. It has, they sprinkle powdered sugar on it, and, oh, it's one of those few pleasures of life, you know, and I like to come early to, well, they don't have crowds in the morning, you see. And so I'm making my way to Betty Jean's Cafe when I paused to admire the harvest display in the beauty salon window, when I hear this noise, and I turn, and there is this old blue rusted pickup truck, and it's bouncing off behind me and careening across the street, and it hits the curb, and it flies up in the air, and it's if there's wings. It's up there, just flying through the air, heading for the plate glass window, and I can see the driver, that poor James Monroe Harding, and I can see that he's praying to the good Lord, and I'm saying, oh, sweet Jesus, save him, Jesus, you gotta save those people. When all of a sudden, just as that truck goes crashing through the window, the nose of it, the back of it slams violently down on the curb, and it stops. It just stops. It's as if the divine hand of the Good Shepherd grabbed hold of the back of that truck and stopped it. It was a miracle. And yet when I think what could have happened if the Lord had not intervened, well, all I can say is that French toast will never hold quite the same pleasures for me. I didn't actually see it till afterwards, you know. I mean, I'm in the kitchen. Betty Jean, she's talking, and I'm getting the stuff ready for the French toast, because I know Miss Tittle's going to come in, and she likes my French toast. And all of a sudden, Betty Jean, she starts screaming and stuff, and then, boom! And it's like, whoa, terrorists! Terrorists are attacking the cafe! And I'm thinking, oh, I gotta see this. So I go running out there, you know, and there's dust everywhere, and I can see Lester's all covered with dust, and he's got this coffee cup, and there's coffee all over him, and Betty Jean, she's in the corner crying, and then there's a truck sitting there, and it's James Monroe's pickup, and I'm going, dude, what you doing parking your truck in the middle of the cafe? I mean, a few years ago I could see it. Yeah, he and me, we used to have some good times, you know, but then he married Cindy, and he says, I don't do that stuff no more. Yeah. But you know, I'm standing there, and I'm looking through the glass all broken up in the windshield, and I can see him, and there's blood all over the place, and there's sticking in his mouth a joint. He's got a joint. Yeah, dude. You don't do that no more. I fell asleep. I'd worked my shift at the factory, and then they offered me a second shift, time and a half, and that'd be almost 24 hours without sleeping, but that's good money, and I'm thinking, no, I can do it, I'll just work it and go home, get a couple hours of sleep, and then I can take Cindy to the clinic and the kids over to her mom's, and I'll make my deliveries, And I'm thinking, I can do this, And I'm okay when I'm working the line, but driving home, I was having a hard time staying awake, and then there's this bag of Halloween candy, Little Jim's, and I'm thinking, maybe if I just eat some candy, it could help me. And so I reach in the bag and I pull out this sucker. It's red. It's my favorite flavor. And I put it in my mouth, and it tastes so good. And the next thing I'm getting jarred awake, and I'm opening my eyes, and I'm heading right for the cafe's window, and I slam on the brakes, and there's glass all over. I'm just glad it stopped. I don't know what I'm going to do. My truck gets totaled. I need it, to make deliveries and take Cindy to the clinic and stuff, and I just hope that the insurance will pay for it, But the cafe, I got to pay for all this now. Well, I guess the good thing is that nobody was hurt, right? And there's folks here, they know me, and they saw what happened, and they can tell you. I fell asleep.